protest and the thousands of people that gathered in downtown Fort Collins to join the movement.
Then, Colorado State University's student government reinstated its seed grant program and what it's aimed to do.
Finally, a local nonprofit that is working to give homeless pets a second chance. All this and more tonight on CTV. Good evening, Rams.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Noelle Zellmann.
And I'm Madison Szpunar. On October 18th, reporter Gigi Berg went to the National No Kings Dayt protest. Thousands of people gathered in downtown Fort Collins to join the nationwide movement. Marchers moved through Old Town holding signs and chanting in support of democracy and accountability from the current administration. Congressman Joe Hughes was also in attendance and gave a meaningful speech during the march. The event was a peaceful demonstration meant to bring the community together and encourage conversation.
In Colorado State University student government, they have reinstated its seed grant program, aimed at helping new student organizations in their early endeavors. The Associated Students of CSU passed Bill number 5512, also known as the Seed Grant Bill, with an overwhelming majority vote of 20-1. Written by Director of Financial Operations Sophie Nanman and supported by members of the Board for Student Organization Funding, the bill transfers $20,000 from last year's Board for Student Organization Funding budget into a new seed fund. Each eligible registered student organization created after January 2021 can receive a $300 grant to help launch programs and events. Student leaders say the goal is to empower new groups, build campus community, and make sure funding reaches those who need it most. Now let's check in with our fill-in sports anchor, Devin Imsirpasic, on some major updates coming from CSU's football team.
How's it going, Rams? I'm Devin Imsirpasic, your sports anchor for the evening. The Rams football team has had, let's just say, a long week, with many changes being made around the program. Head coach Norvell was fired on Sunday after Saturday's home loss versus Hawaii, ending his tenure with CSU after 4 seasons and an overall record of 18-26. Defensive coordinator Tyson Summers was named interim head coach for the remainder of the season and will look to turn around a rough Rams team, who is just 2-5 on the season as they head to Wyoming on Saturday. As the Rams gear towards a new era, it was announced Wednesday afternoon that quarterback Braden Fowler-Nicolosi has left Colorado State and is no longer with the football program. The move comes after Fowler-Nicolosi has not appeared in a game since September 20th, in just 3 days after the firing of Coach Norvell. The redshirt junior started in the team's first 3 games this season, going 1-2 as the starter in those matchups. In the first home game of the season against Northern Colorado, Fowler-Nicolosi struggled for a majority of the game against the inferior FBS school. He still managed, though, to lead the Rams to a win with his eventual game-winning rushing touchdown in the 4th quarter. Hope was high for the third-year starter and the rest of the team after getting a win under their belts. However, it was in their next matchup at home against UTSA where Fowler-Nicolosi struggled mightily. The quarterback had trouble finding room to scramble, was missing his receivers, and took plenty of sacks. The Rams had only 3 points through the first 3 quarters of the game, and boos started to rain down from the home fans who were unhappy. It was time for a change. Fowler-Nicolosi finished 14 of 25 passing with 176 passing yards and -19 rushing yards before being benched in favor of current starting quarterback Jackson Brousseau in the 4th quarter, ending Fowler-Nicolosi's time with the Rams. Fowler-Nicolosi had been the Rams quarterback for the past 3 seasons, including his starts this year, where he will finish his time at CSU with 6,938 passing yards, 38 touchdowns, and 29 interceptions. Expected now to enter the transfer portal, it marks the end to an era of CSU football with Fowler-Nicolosi and Norvell at the helm, where the Rams will now be faced with the task of rebuilding a large part of this program as they end out the season and prepare to enter the Pac-12 conference in 2026. That's all from me tonight. Now let's go over to Noelle, who has more on the budget side of this story.
Thanks, Devin. As you previously heard, Colorado State University fired head football coach Norvell on October 19th, 2025, after a 2-5 start to the season. Norvell was in the 4th year of a 5-year, $9 million contract signed in December 2021, with a base salary of $1.9 million for 2025 and a scheduled increase to $2 million in 2026. Under the terms of his contract, CSU owes Norvell a $1.5 million buyout following his mid-season firing, unless the termination is for cause, in which case no payment is required. CSU plans to cover the buyout using funds from the sale of the former Hughes Stadium property, profits from CSU Global Campus, and a promissory note from Norvell to repay part of his previous buyout from the University of Nevada. University officials say these funds come from athletic revenue, donations, and capital sales, not student tuition. Athletic Director John Weber said the decision was about positioning CSU for the future as it prepares to join the Pac-12.
You know, when you look at all the attributes here at CSU, it is all here for us to be wildly successful as we move into the Pac-12. And the goal for us is to play in and compete in the college football playoff.
Norvell thanked his staff and players in his final press conference after the Hawaii game. CSU is now conducting a national search for his successor as the program prepares for its move to the Pac-12 in 2026.
Really want to commend our fans and our administration for the amazing turnout, biggest crowd in CSU history, and we needed to do a better job and respond to that environment as a football team.
But that's all we have for now. We'll be right back after the break. When we return, our anchor Madison Szpunar has a look at a CSU tradition dedicated to fighting food insecurity.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No, I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. Kevin, I need that back. No. Kevin!
Counts around the Oval has been a 39-year CSU tradition dedicated to fighting food insecurity. Each fall, students and community members donate food and funds to support the food bank for Larimer County and Rams Against Hunger. Organizers encourage cash and nutritious staples to better serve local families and students. Results for how much CSU raised this year will be released within the next week. Now off to our weather anchor Tate Pasley, where he takes a look at what to expect heading into the rest of the week.
Thanks, Madison. I'm Tate Pasley, filling in for Aubrey Francis tonight. Let's get into the weather. So, starting off, as you can see, it's been pretty good weather-wise. We have some lovely summer days with just a bit of overcast, no major weather changes in regards to snow or rain yet. Overall, we're keeping it nice and simple and clean. So I hope all of you were expecting to get classes easy, because that's all you're going to get. You're not expecting a snow day anytime soon. Moving on. Let's go check out what we can expect from today's weather. And if you were expecting a black void, you might have it right. But moving right in, for today's current conditions, it's going to get to the highs of about 58, so a little bit chilly. You might want to grab a jacket if you were feeling inclined to. Additionally, we're going to have a sunset at 6:07 p.m., a little higher on the humidity-wise with 38%, and winds at about 5 miles per hour, so just getting a little bit windy and a little bit chilly. So keep that in mind as you're going about your daily duties. Moving right along, let's check out the map of Colorado. So we got down the corridor here, we got 47s in Denver, 44 in Pueblo, keeping around consistent mid-40s. Moving over here into the east, we got Burlington with 37, Lamar and 41. Generally those lower temperatures, so I personally would grab a jacket. Moving over here to the west in the mountains, we got a bit of a strange one with Grand Junction up at 47. You wouldn't expect it to be that high in the mountains, but it is. And everywhere else, it's about that low 30s. So getting a little bit chilly as we move into the October and November seasons. So 5-day forecast, what can you expect from the rest of the week? Well, starting over here, in Saturday, we got a high of 71, which is probably the hottest it's going to get throughout this week. Lows are pretty consistent throughout the week, keeping it low 40s, low 30s. So consistent overall, but overall it's between that 30s and 50s. That time to cuddle up with a good book and some fire before we get into those snowy seasons. Moving right along. That is all the weather we have tonight. Back to you, Madison, on desk.
Yesterday, an art project for a sculpture class at CSU is sparking conversation after its controversial messages. Students now have raised concerns about creativity and campus expression. Emily Osborne is an art major here at CSU who decided to participate in her sculpture class's project.
I know a lot of people might not agree or understand with the art that I made, and that's fine.
The student's graffiti art piece drew more attention than she expected, turning the creative assignment into a campus controversy.
I've just been really frustrated with what's been going on with the administration, the Trump administration, and how people are being silenced, and I just kind of wanted to say something on that.
Even though the artwork was approved, it didn't stay up for long. Soon after Osborne posted the graffiti art on the wall, university officials ordered her to take it down.
Really, from the students, it was a fairly positive reaction. From the administration, not so much. I think that's mostly because they're worried about their federal funding being cut, which makes sense, but it's also frustrating because this was something that I was allowed to do.
Osborne says that she created the piece due to recent events on campus regarding chalking at the plaza and free speech policies.
A big reason also why I did this project was because of the chalking policy that they started, and it just kind of didn't make sense to me. And the free speech policy felt like they were reducing our level of free speech. I just felt very frustrated by that.
This has been Madison Szpunar reporting for CTV. The university has not released any further statements on the incident, but the discussion around art and free expression continues on campus. That's all we have for now. We'll be right back after the break. When we return, our feature reporter, Karma Robbins, will talk about what it looks like into a local nonprofit working to provide homeless pets a second chance.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back, Rams. I'm your feature reporter, Karma Robbins. A local nonprofit is working to give homeless pets a second chance from an open intake shelter and connect them with loving homes. I visited All Aboard Animal Rescue Center, a foster-based rescue home where volunteers are making a big difference, one adoption at a time.
All Aboard Animal Rescue is a non-profit animal rescue here in Fort Collins, Colorado. We are also a foster-based rescue and a volunteer-based rescue. As far as how we got started was our partner vet, Eric Bohmeyer. He owned the vets next door, and then he went and started All Aboard Animal Rescue. We source most of our animals from Carlsbad, New Mexico. It's an open intake shelter down there, so they're unable to say no to people.
The rescue process may vary from shelter to shelter, but here's how it works at this one.
So when the animals arrive here, we get them settled in, we get them fed, bathed, we give them a check to make sure they're doing okay, and then we pretty much the same day they get here, we send them off to foster homes.
While being a foster-based rescue home, let's see how you can get involved in fostering a dog or a cat.
The best way to get involved in fostering is to visit our website. And then when we send animals home to with their fosters, we do provide all the supplies. Really, it's the foster's time and energy.
Kim's been volunteering with All Aboard Animal Rescue, and for her, it's the animals that make every day worth it.
Every Wednesday when we get our new animals in, it's always really amazing to see. They tend to come in a little shy, and we get them outside playing with them. We have our volunteers hang out with them. You can just see them open up.
Here are the upcoming events and future hopes for All Aboard Animal Rescue.
This Saturday, we actually have 2 adoption events, so it's kind of rare. We're going to have one on Sunday, too. My hope is that we're able to just continue to expand our reach and save more animals.
All Aboard Animal Rescue Center continues to help animals each year find their forever homes. To learn more about adoptions or volunteer opportunities, you can visit their website at animalrescue.org. Now back to desk with Noelle.
Thanks, Karma. At Colorado State University, students say the school's use it or lose it meal plan policy is costing them money and wasting food. Each week, unused dining swipes expire Friday at midnight. That means when students get sick, travel, or just have a busy week, those paid for meals simply disappear. Students call it wasteful, especially when programs like Rams Against Hunger are working to fight food insecurity on campus. Operated through CSU's Office of Student Leadership and Community Engagement, also known as SLICE, Rams Against Hunger provides food pantries, meal swipe assistance, and support for students in need. But right now, unused meal swipes don't roll over or go to that program. Advocates say redirecting them could reduce waste and help the nearly 3 in 10 CSU students who face food insecurity. Truly living up to the motto, Rams take care of Rams. That's all we have for you tonight, Rams.
Be sure to check out our YouTube channel for more content. Thank you for tuning in, stay safe, and have a great weekend.